Hello, welcome. Hope everybody's having a lovely Saturday afternoon. I know I am. It's nice weather time. We've got the hummingbird feeder up just for now. Whenever we look at something else, we'll take it down, but never know. If we get a visit, we don't want to miss it. So anyway, I said I wasn't going to talk about this every day, and I'm actually not going to talk about it every day, but it is still going on. This whole whatever is going on. So last night, Hidden True Crime did The Price of Truth, speaking out after the 9-hour live. And I think, in my opinion, it didn't help anybody. It made it worse for me. I don't know how everybody feels about it, but that's how I feel. Hey, Frazzle. Hi. I felt like it was worse. I felt like it made it worse. It was, to me, you didn't watch. It was hard to watch. It actually was. I listened to it. I'm pretty sure I listened to all of it. I was kind of listening and not listening. It was hard to listen to. It was a lot. We can play some of it. I'm not going to play. There's no way I could sit through all of it, just like the 9 hours, to sit through it over and over. But he seemed to really justify, that's what he was doing in his professional opinion, and that's fine. He's allowed to have it, and so am I. In his professional opinion, how, she really is being stalked, and how dangerous it is, and to justify her feelings about it, because I don't think a lot of people are good with her feelings about it. No, they're up still. We haven't had a visit yet since we started, Debbie. Good to see you. To me, he just really wants to justify this, and the sad thing is, I just really feel that I have lost all all respect for both of them. And wow, it's still really weird because I liked them both so much. And you just never know. And I think the more and more that I think about this, I'm so irritated that she had this whole scene go on at CrimeCon. There are so many actual victims that attend CrimeCon. And I mean, how ridiculous to have police all over there, and and so much of it was contrived. I believe that she did all that intentionally. I believe she contrived all of it to work out just the way that it did, which was not a good look. It wasn't good, not in my opinion. She made cause this dramatic scene at something like that was just, it's so disappointing. I mean, it's just beyond disappointing. And, of course, there's all this buzz going on. But apparently, I saw that Creisha Haywood Cox's daughter is I think, doing something on her channel tomorrow. So maybe let me get that real quick. I'm definitely going to check it out because I think she might be losing support from some people. Let me grab that really quick. I'll put it in. It's called Difficult Research is the channel. Right. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me see. I don't know what it's going to be about, but I think it's going to be about this situation, I think. So just check that out and see. But, you know, to me, you know, I had a big problem with the way he wanted to talk about free speech. The judge was pretty clear. Just because you don't like what people are saying, people are allowed to have an opinion about you that you don't like. That they just are. I mean, and he really wanted to act like, you know, defend the fact that, you know, so what happened in court was they had a hearing scheduled. They didn't have enough time to present apparently all of their evidence to turn the, you know, the temporary RO into a permanent one. So they rescheduled it. That's when Law and Crime found out about it, and she had a, you know, meltdown about that. Didn't want that to happen. So she dismissed these allegations or whatever legally. But the judge didn't seem like he was really all that fond of it anyway. And so I assume that most everybody, I do have the audio of the court. If you guys want to listen to that, I have that. We have a lot of the nonsense that she, you know, all of her, you know, exhibits and whatnot that she was going to give. We've seen all of it on her channel on the 9 hours. I think we saw most of it. But the judge didn't seem really excited about what was going on. And that's something people need to understand. It's actually not, I don't think it's actually super easy to get a restraining order because you're taking somebody's rights away. I mean, you got to really show that you have, that it's very legitimate, you know? I think so. Because if you, that's what I think too, Frazzle. I mean, look, I have a little tiny channel and I've had people go after me. I just ignore it. You know, it wasn't even a big channel. Apparently, I've never gone to look at the people that went after her because I just simply don't care, really. I've never looked at their channel. I didn't think that probably some of the things they were doing were anything that I would like to watch, but it doesn't make it against the law. And she wanted this person to have to wear a GPS monitor. Well, that's crazy. I mean, to me, she seems like she's very entitled. Definitely a drama queen for sure, which I just didn't see that in her. I didn't think she was that person. It's weird. And I wondered why her husband wasn't trying to tell her to, calm down. And when you're talking about unaliving yourself, I mean, wow. It makes you think that she's lived a very good life, that this is the kind of thing that just absolutely is going to take her down, unravel her. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. When you get online, you are asked, you open yourself up to a lot of stuff. Right? I know. I know. Anytime you're thinking about harming yourself, there's a lot more going on here than just the situation. There's something wrong right here. Yeah, Happy. It's hard to watch. It was really, he carried on about Brad Pitt for the longest time. I thought, what the actual is going on? And that was a lot. Hey, Legs. Absolutely. I think for sure there's something she doesn't want to come out. The level of how upset she is, it's got to be a lot more. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Frazzle, he went on about, we can play a little bit. Oh my goodness. It's really weird. And I guess what I think he was doing with Brad Pitt, I think he goes on and on about how Brad Pitt was this really great actor. He had all these great roles. He literally kind of goes through them. And then apparently at some point, Angelina Jolie made an accusation that he had been physically abusive with her. I didn't know anything about that because I don't really pay attention to stuff like that. I don't really care so much. So I don't know what all that was about. But then I think he's having such a hard time sticking with him. But I think he might have alluded to, he hasn't, even though it was never proven that he had done that, he lost a lot of good roles after that, apparently. And so, trying to say that one accusation just made kind of like it kind of erased what a great actor he is. I thought that was wild. But so I think he's trying to say, he was saying, all the good work that Lauren has done, this right here has caused people to go after or whatever. Now, another thing is, if he's really justifying how she feels, and I don't know what therapist is going to justify the fact that you want to harm yourself. There's no justification. But he's justifying how she feels in part of this video, but yet kind of saying she might have messed up. I don't know. Oh, okay. Okay, problem. See, I had no idea. I didn't, I never heard about that. Okay. Yeah, I think he did say something about a plane. Wow. See, it was super hard to listen to him, and it was really long. So I'm gonna put it on a higher speed. And this is, I'm doing commentary, so this is fair use. So Don't try to come for me. I'm allowed to do it. Just saying. Right. 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 Well, there's no doubt they're trying to do damage control because, just because you cry doesn't mean that, you're right. That's just it. And just because you don't like it and it upset you, again, does not make it against the law. That's just the way that is. And they have not gotten the response that they were looking for with that big scene, that 9-hour live. So yeah, let's listen to a little. It's, oh my God, honestly, it's super hard to listen to. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
So let's dive into this analysis. I'm going to start in a fairly peculiar, unexpected place.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with talking about Brad Pitt, the actor.
That is peculiar.
It is a little peculiar, right? So the reason I want to talk about Brad Pitt is because he's an actor in my generation. He's an actor I've followed very closely over the years. He's an actor I've really appreciated. And I've really kind of watched him mature and develop and grow. And that's been somewhat inspirational to me.
Yeah,
so
you do like him. He talks about Brad Pitt.
So let me just say, so I'm going to do a little bit of my own fangirling here, I guess. But let me say that the reason I got to know Brad Pitt was because in 1992, he was in a movie called A River Runs Through It. Mm-hmm. A River Runs Through It is one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite books. It's a book by Norman MacLean, who was a professor of English literature.
Yeah, she does look smug. And, I'm starting to think a lot. Like, it was all there all along. I just didn't really see it. They seem very professional to me. But yeah, I see that too. Yep. And quite honestly, I really truly believe something is going to probably come out that makes her look really, really bad, because she's trying to stop people from they're not doing anything. She just doesn't like it. And as far as the smug, what I can't stand the way they act with this, because they act like nobody else actually has a right to be at these trials. They really kind of act that way. Like, like I was saying the other night, she kept saying, they were there as public, and in the court hearing, her attorney says, they don't have to be there. And, she's a crime investigator. Actually, she's not that I am aware of. But the thing is, no, they were always going to those. That's how you met these people. And they didn't just start going to annoy you. But who says that they have any less right to be there than she does? I mean, I don't like this attitude she's showing, that she is so entitled and people are bothering her. She's called cops at restaurants, had people thrown out of restaurants. I mean, right. That's exactly right, Frazzle. Yeah, and that's ridiculous. And I cannot get past that she wants to know how long crime found out about it. I mean, what bullshit. Of course, long crime is at CrimeCon. And you pulled all this nonsense and had the police all over the place. I mean, that is such crap for her to keep acting like, I don't know who told them. I don't know why they care. I don't know. Yeah, well, they don't know why the hell you pulled a big old drama ass scene with a bunch of victims there acting like you are a victim. It's just gross. It's so, yeah, I don't know how much of this, but let's see if you guys think what I think about this Brad Pitt shit.
At the University of Chicago for many years. He wrote this novella about his childhood growing up in Montana and how fly fishing basically saved his life. It's a brilliant book. It's a brilliant movie. Brad Pitt was in the movie. He actually played the somewhat delinquent brother. It was an interesting role that Brad Pitt would kind of reprise many times in his career, but he was very good. And
Yeah, he was.
I didn't know who he was at that time.
Let me just tell you, I don't think that she wants to listen to all this shit either. Just saying.
And so I was interested. I'm like, who is this guy, right? When I watch a movie and there's actors I don't know, I'm always interested to kind of figure out who they are, where they came from. So I found that Brad Pitt actually was born and raised in a small town in Oklahoma. He was born in Shawnee, Oklahoma. And I also learned that at least some of his early career, he began in 1987. I didn't know any of his earlier movies. He did a few movies, and then he did work for a soap opera. So the evolution of his career really begins with soap operas. And, you know, when I learned that, I thought, oh, this is interesting.
Hey, Kentucky woman. Oh, yeah, you know what? I heard people saying, commenting last night that they think she's had more Botox or something since the 9-hour live. I don't know. I guess I don't pay. I usually just listen. I don't watch. But no, actually someone texted me telling me that they thought that. Yeah, she looks irritated by all this like everybody else. I mean, honest to God, you guys have this complete damn debacle going on and you're carrying on about like where Brad Pitt is from and shit. It's weird to me. I don't know how a person can. Okay. Oh my God. Frazzled. I thought that too. That's so funny. He's carrying on about this. And I thought he played in Thelma and Louise. Yeah. Oh my God. That's funny. That is hilarious. No, I remember it.
Right? Like, you don't see a lot of soap opera actors go on to become megastars.
True.
I mean, I guess some of them have, but I'm not aware of a lot, right? And so you got this guy in this major movie. It's produced by Robert Redford. Robert Redford, by the way, in 1992, clearly saw talent in this young actor because Robert Redford has produced some extraordinary movies over the years. He's been in extraordinary movies. He knows the industry. He knows talent, and he picked out Brad Pitt. So shortly after that, Brad Pitt in 1995 was in a movie called Seven. And he was one of the detectives. And
oh my God.
Great job. So now my appreciation of this guy is only increasing. In 1996, he did a movie with mental health and sci-fi, all kinds of philosophical movie. And yeah, I kind of see this guy's journey. I'm skipping a lot of movies he's done, by the way. These are just ones that- he does a movie tour, which is about the Iliad.
Please.
Homer's the Iliad. I love Homer's the Iliad. It's one of my favorite books. It's a brilliant book about war. He does this. That's a risk. It's not particularly a stretch for him in this movie, but he's good. He does Moneyball, 14 Fury.
I'm fast forwarding.
He sort of has a particular type in these movies, but you also, like, for me, I'm also seeing him expanding his repertoire a little bit, taking some risks, like with Troy, growing as an actor, right? So what's fascinating to me is you got this guy from right, abuse,
God.
war between himself and Angelina Jolie.
Two
There's
megastars.
two megastars. There's this war between himself and Angelina Jolie.
Two
There's
megastars.
two megastars. There's this issue over custody, right? There's all kinds of issues here. There's I believe
It's a bitter divorce.
It's a bitter divorce. I believe there's all kinds of accusations being levied. And before this, by the way, I should point out, like, the paparazzi are all over Brad Pitt wherever he goes. There's
He's married to Jennifer Aniston.
Married to Jennifer Aniston before.
Cheating scandal.
Right. There's issues about fidelity, right? Like anything the tabloid can get their hands on, any salacious story about Brad Pitt, they're publishing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see this stuff, but I don't really pay much attention to it because I don't really care. I want to go to his movies. I'm invested in this guy as an actor and watching him grow and change and master his craft, right?
You're interested in his craft, his art.
Right.
See, she's annoyed by all this. I thought, like, what the hell? Yeah, I guess so, huh? And you're like, how in the hell does this have anything to do with your wife acting like an entitled bitch? Wow.
So it's interesting because in 2016, and I could be wrong about this, but so these allegations are levied by someone who has tremendous power in Hollywood.
I know.
And I believe that because of this, there's certainly an attempt to tarnish his reputation.
Yep.
To maybe cancel him, right? Like there's this whole debate about should Brad Pitt be doing movies, right? I'm sure people have mixed feelings about this. He was never formally charged with anything. He was never criminally charged. But after 2016, it does appear that a lot of his roles are lesser roles. It appears that he's doing movies that aren't quite they don't quite have the heft and the reach of movies he's done before. So the reason I read that list of movies prior to is because I don't know exactly what was going behind the scenes. I don't know if the impact of accusations was affecting his ability to get better films. Like I just don't know. And so I'm gonna leave us here for a minute. I'm gonna leave us with the accusation.
Okay, see? So I think this is going to get to, I think I thought that I listened a little more last night. I don't, maybe I didn't, because this is really weird. And she's so annoyed by this. She's so bored with it. I think it's really, that's obvious.
The trajectory of his career that apparently seems to stall around 2016, right?
Oh my God.
And I'm going to dive into something else, which is something that's called psychological essentialism. And psychological essentialism, and there's different types, there's different kinds of psychological essentialism, but fundamentally psychological essentialism is about the idea that things or people have an underlying reality. So there's something called category essentialism, which is that you might take an attribute or something that of a person, and you're going to generalize from that and make assumptions about who that person is.
Okay.
So in other words, you want to categorize someone. So psychological essentialism is about trying to find some underlying category of reality about a person or a thing. Typically in psychological essentialism, you might take an attribute or a behavior, even just one, and you'll generalize from that to categorize the person in question. So one of the authors one of the psychologists, his name is Paul Bloom. He teaches at Yale. He does research. He wrote a book called How Pleasure Works, where he has some interesting chapters on psychological essentialism. The reason, by the way, he talks about it in terms of pleasure is because he argues strongly that psychological essentialism.
They do. I feel like she's very annoyed by this. Right. That's what I'm saying, Frazzle. I'm sitting here going, maybe he's absolutely right about this Brad Pitt shit. I don't know. I don't recall a time that he was ever, in lesser roles other than, maybe he just got older. I don't know. This is so weird to me because I just never paid that much attention to that kind of shit. But he's clearly paid a lot of attention to it. And, you sit here and go, I think you are brought in to fix this shit, and I don't know if this is helping. Right. Yep. It does. It just does. It's so weird. I was listening thinking, how epic long are we going to listen to this? Wow.
Underlies a lot of our experience of pleasure in the sense that there are certain things that essentialism helps us with in terms of developing certain desires or motivations for something. So there's another type of psychological essentialism called life force essentialism, which I don't want to get into that now. We'll talk about it later. But for now, I want to talk about psychological essentialism, and I'm going to read. This was Paul Bloom in his book called How Pleasure Works.
Why We Like What We Like. I like the subtitle, so I'm going to throw that out there.
He talks about, there's a subject in one of his studies, it's a 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about it, he gives an example of psychological essentialism. And
yeah, a whole lot of feel sorry for me kind of stuff. Right. I actually have this sped up, you guys.
here's what he said. So they interviewed this 4-year-old, and he was describing what he perceived to be a violent playmate. So here's what he says. The 4-year-old. Quote, Gabriel didn't just hurt me. He hurt other kids too. He's a herder. Right, Mom? He's a herder. The child is presumably stressing that this sort of behavior reflects a deeper aspect of Gabriel's nature. So what Bloom is saying that's of interest here is that if a child is on the playground, let's say we don't know the context, right? Let's say that child was having a really bad day. Let's say his father yelled at him that morning. Let's say his father maybe even pushed him, right? This kid, Gabriel, comes to school and he acts out. He hits another child.
Okay.
Maybe he pushes another child, and this 4-year-old sees it, and his conclusion is that Gabriel is essentially a herder. He's a bad kid, and you need to stay away from him. Without knowing anything about Gabriel, without knowing Gabriel's story, right? So you're going from this one particular behavior.
Right, Mom? I know. Isn't that hilarious? I'm like, holy crap. I know. This is so weird. I really think that, if you look at her body language, and obviously I'm no body language expert by any means, but I just have opinions about things. But she looks super annoyed to me. And this makes me really think that a lot of the time, like, she probably likes going to these trials and stuff, going out of town and not doing this right here. I think she does like that. And again, it's so weird to me because I remember her telling me some of this shit in Phoenix. Of course, I didn't think it was a big thing, because I still don't think it's a big thing. But she was telling me about people, dogging on her about and the kind of mom she is, and the clothes that she wears to court, inappropriate, just things like that. I really didn't think a whole lot about it. And I had no idea she was having a breakdown over that shit. So weird. Yeah, this is so wild.
And you're generalizing. And the important point here is that kids as young as 2 and 3 and 4, this is what they do. They start labeling and categorizing behaviors.
Okay. And putting them into categories.
Trying to oversimplify it, right? So you're essentially seeing, like this 4-year-old, you're seeing one particular behavior, which is this kid Gabriel hitting another kid, apparently, is drawing oversimplified. So what's important here is not only does this happen at a young age, but it solidifies over the course of our lifespan. So in other words, adults are still looking to categorize people the same way. They're looking for a specific instance or behavior to say, that's a herder. So here's an example. Let's say someone writes some private text messages that aren't meant with the expectation of privacy. right? And let's say those messages are part of a group where the culture of that group is to roast other people. That culture of that group is to make fun of other people and to just blow off steam, to vent, right? And let's say that one of those private messages, just one, or maybe a few, they're released publicly. Not to mention the ethical and moral issues about betraying someone's privacy and their friendship and trust. That's a different issue. That's more of an ethical issue, right? But
right, it's ethical and moral, possibly, right? Yeah, not illegal. Okay, that's the thing. When you put something out there in writing, you need to go ahead and expect that can come out. Especially if you want to go around being a complete bitch to everybody, which is what I think she did. I don't know that. Sounds like it. Little things that she says, like, this woman said she sent out her book or whatever, and she didn't. And I don't know about that. I don't care about it. But, she ends up saying things like, everything was fine. I thought everything was fine between us or something. But then she kind of throws out something about, she did have a lawyer, send something or do something. And it's like, wait, hold on. That just made that sound like maybe it wasn't quite as little as you're acting like. Little tips with people, how a lawyer was involved. This is funny though.
So let's just say that somebody releases a private message or series of private messages and they get out to certain people. So an example of psychological essentialism is you take one of those messages out of context, meant to be private. You take one of those messages and then you develop a sticky label that you apply to the person that wrote that private or those private messages, right? So let's say that some of those messages were snarky, or let's say that some of those messages were edgy. Let's say they were a little biting. Maybe they were sarcastic, right? But they were in the context of a group where that wasn't to be shared. Psychological essentialism suggests that certain people will take those messages that weren't meant to be shared and they will develop categories. They will label people bad. They will label people as being immoral because of that type of behavior without looking at the context, without considering that.
Okay, so see this, if I'm understanding this, okay, people, have labeled Lauren bad the same way that people labeled Brad Pitt. Without taking in all the context, okay? This is about I don't know how you have to be a doctor to know this shit. Like Mars said, you could have said this in 3 sentences. I mean, what the hell? I guess that's what. So clearly, she said some really ugly shit. And, the word on the street is that this was about, she said this stuff about, some of the victims. I don't know what she said. I'm not pretending to know. It's all my opinion and different shit I've heard, but I don't know anything for sure. Of course I don't. She didn't send me shit, so I know that. But, the word on the street is she's been talking shit about people that thought they were her friends and other, journalists, her colleagues, whatnot. Exactly right. That's 100%. If you didn't say something, you are so, the level of upsetness that she is over all this means she did something really ugly. And sadly, probably what's going to happen is maybe nobody would ever even heard that shit. if she didn't come out with all this nonsense herself. Maybe they would have, I don't know. But the word on the street is that she doesn't have the relationship with some of these people that everyone thought she did anyway. I don't know. Again. Yep. Oh, you're leaving Kentucky? Yeah, she's scared to death of something big. Yeah, she is. But I definitely take a lot of issue with her, with the shit she pulled at CrimeCon. I think that was so gross with all the actual victims there. I think that was so inappropriate.
A person's history without considering that person's life, right? Like that's what, so it's the 4-year-old watching one particular behavior and coming to the conclusion that Gabriel is a hurter, right? And that's a moral judgment, by the way, which is going to take us to the next step of this process. So one of the interesting things about psychological essentialism is that human beings, this is true across all cultures. This research is invariant. This research is as universal as you can get in our field, in the field of psychology.
Hello, Rowena. Welcome. Good to see you. She was. I think that she arranged everything to happen at CrimeCon in a way to make herself look so bad. And I think the intention was to make herself look really great, look like a victim. And I don't know the person that she did all this to. I don't know her. But from everything that we've seen, it was so ridiculous and just rude to everybody, actually. I don't know. I don't know how much of this I can listen to because this was really. You know, I did hear about it. Rowena, I did. I heard. I put Krisha's link in the chat earlier because I did hear about that, and I don't know for sure what she's going to say, but it seems like she's going to maybe bust this wide open. I don't know. You know, it's just crazy. I feel really bad for them too, and I think that was so inappropriate. Oh my God. When you think about it's at 7:30. Oh, okay. Thank you. I went to her page. I didn't see see it scheduled, but I didn't. I just wanted to put the link in there so people would watch. It sounded to me like things are not as great with her and Krisha as she had, or as what I thought they were between them. I don't know. And like I said, here in Phoenix, Lauren and I talked about, I had said something because she was telling me about people talking shit. I thought it was just really nothing, because I still think it's nothing. But I was talking about how some of the people I've heard saying things about Colby, which always upset me. I don't want to hear that shit. And I was kind of talking about Annie, you know, that weird one, Annie. But I didn't even say much. And I was actually in court that day that she did not come back from lunch. And I remember her saying she was sick. I noticed she didn't come back. But I didn't see anybody harassing her. And I was there. Tell her something. Really? Oh my God, are you kidding? Oh, I did not know that. Wow. See, I never saw anything. How nasty. That's wild. So, yeah, she's quite the victim. Oh, Prisha had a live yesterday, or do you mean this nonsense with all Brad Pitt shit? I mean, good God. That was hard to listen to. Oh, I need to go and listen. There's so much. Yes, I definitely will. I had already said that because I heard someone talking about it. Yeah, because it sounds like this one is quite. She's something else. Really? Oh my God. Okay, now I'm all. I knew that Lori had been in court and acted a fool. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to watch that now. Well, to me, it's pretty clear that she has been saying she's been up to some kind of fuck shit. I mean, come on. How are you gonna self-harm over this nonsense? It's a lot bigger than she's acting like. Oh, okay. Wow. Now I'm excited to watch that. Because I heard it was gonna be Sunday. And so I didn't know about. Oh, you mean oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. Now I see what you're saying. Yeah, because Lori's hearing was just a few minutes. I see what you're saying. Okay. Oh, now I'm all curious. Okay. Oh my God. So this really is all going to come out. Okay. I don't really like to get it. I'm not like really super excited about it. I don't mean to be ugly that way, but we knew for sure there's something. And this must be, maybe this shit was getting ready to really hit the fan. And I don't think because of that damn court hearing. I think because shit was going to hit the fan. I don't think it had anything to do with law and crime, personally. I don't know. That's just all part of the big old ball baby shit. Wow. So disappointing. I loved her channel. I watched it all. I really liked that channel. You know, you never know who people are, man. Okay, you guys are hearing this is exciting because no, I wanted to talk about, I had mentioned it earlier. Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I will get the link again. No, I'm excited to watch it too. Yeah, it's called Difficult Research. And yeah, we need everybody to watch it. Oh, really? Okay. Wow. Oh, yeah, I see it now. This is long. Yeah, and that I loved it. I was in court the day that that Kay Woodcock testified. I love that. She did such a good job. And that really makes me sad if creating all this nonsense for victims like that. So this is the one from last night, guys. Oh, I'm super excited to watch it now. So I'm curious, does anybody know, has Lauren addressed that from Krisha yet? I'm curious about that. No, same here, Rowena. That's the same thing with me. I met her downtown in Phoenix. I made her its gift. I was super excited to meet her. I really, really thought highly of her. But you're right. You know, not too long ago, somebody told me I did not have a good judge of character, and I guess they were right. Because I really did not see it. What a dipshit, right? I was all, look, I'm so excited to meet Lauren. No, it's wild to see, like, you know, in the first 5 minutes of her 9-hour live, I was like, she's pissing me off right now. Like, I'm not liking what I'm hearing. Oh, yeah, no, I saw that too. I met her too. Mm-hmm. Kind of the dynamic. And, you know, this is a thing. I didn't say I didn't talk about any of it because I'm like, whatever, right? Who cares? Their dynamic was a little bit odd to me. And now I feel like I see things a lot differently. Like, I feel like people, like, I think she liked going and being away from her husband because I think she was as irritated with that damn shit last night as everybody else. Hey, try me. No, I know. No, I know. I just am like, wow, I totally did not see her that way. I know. I actually do try to see good. But wow, yeah. And of course, you know what the thing is, you did see a lot of the way she was, you know, getting a lot of work done. Again, that was something else she told me people said about her. Honest to God, you guys, just standing outside, they were waiting for their Uber. I was waiting for Mr. Snotty to come pick me up. Just out on the street in downtown Phoenix. She was just telling me a lot of stuff. It did seem like a lot for the situation. But then again, I go, it's kind of dumb. People talk shit about you. Look at people slow down videos to make me look like I'm slurring and all fucking drunk. Okay, I have 2,000 subs. Really? Just fucking ignore it. Get on with your life. Start fucking bawling like a big tit. And calling lawyers and police. I know. Oh my God. I'm telling you. Holy shit. That was wild. I mean, who got anything out of that? Right. That's just it. I mean, get some thicker skin, lady. What are you doing? That's why, you know, this level, she said some shit. And look at his thing. You know, you take it out of context, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So you were being a complete fucking wretched bitch to people. That's what you were doing. You were saying very ugly things about people who are victims of horrible things, which you were not a victim. Yeah. No, he kind of is. Yeah. It's, oh my goodness. I just don't know how people are. I don't know that they're going to fix this. They will with some people. Some people are just going to be all about it. But I don't think, and it was not a good look to turn right around and give an update on your Patreon. Like, come on. Really, you owe me 9 hours of my fucking life back, and now you want me to pay for this bullshit? No, I can't. I don't think she likes it. She was annoyed with that video as much as I was. I'm sure of it. How could anybody handle that? You would lose your mind. Yeah, don't you think that was really rude to have everybody listening to you snotting all over everything? And again, I believe, and I think she kind of was caught. I'm pretty sure she was caught. That video that supposedly Grayson took of her, that was planned. I believe it was planned 100%. It probably made it just before they did the damn live. The part that makes me angry is she said, if messages got out. Right. So what did she say? Exactly right. 100%. What kind of sick shit did you say? No, I agree. She said a couple of things that really, really led on to make things sound a lot differently than what she was saying. You could kind of tell that she was up to it. Yes, of course. Yeah, that would be awesome. You're obsessed with and constant referring of how, oh my God. No, did you hear her say that she felt like Charles Vallow? Are you shitting me? She felt like Charles Vallow? Hey.
Whoops, couldn't get to my mute. Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Oh, I think I recognize your voice.
Yeah, I've talked to you. We talked about, I think it was Daybell. Yeah, I think it was Daybell that you were covering one day and we talked. Yeah. And
Oh,
I'm over on Queen Bee's a lot. So I'm kind of over in that neck of the woods up there.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I've heard it. I'm saying I recognize your voice. How awesome.
I want to pick
Yeah,
your brain.
so
I want to pick your brain. Okay, I got to pick your brain. Okay.
okay.
All right. Now, we've heard rumors that there's a picture floating out there. I don't think it exists because it hasn't popped up yet. But this was a couple of days ago where somebody had taken a picture of her out in front of a courthouse at one of the trials. And Grayson was holding her Stanley cup while she bent over and drank from it. Was it that kind of dynamic? Like Grace, because you were around them. Like, is
Yeah.
Grayson just like spot on the job? Like, you know, if Lauren thinks she's gonna sneeze, Grayson's with a tissue. You know, is it like
Yes.
that?
No, yeah, because actually my thinking was, and again, I wasn't trying to really, I never even said any of this stuff. I just kind of in my head was like, that's a little odd.
Yeah.
But because I literally started thinking, I think they lived together or something. Like it seemed weird.
Now, which trial were you at?
The one in Phoenix, because I live in Arizona. I live in Chandler,
Okay.
where
Okay.
Charles Vallow was killed. So I went to the Brandon Boudreaux and the Charles, and I didn't go the whole time because
that's a lot. I
watch my grandson. I watch my grandson, so I can't go all the time.
Well,
but I went to a few of the hearings, and so I met like Nate and Justin Lum and Lauren, before then I did get to go a couple of days of trial. And I did see, like, she does, did you guys notice this? I noticed that she said, well, they were there as public, right? Did you hear that? Like,
Yes.
girls,
I thought
right?
that was right. It's like, you don't have a channel. You're not one of us. You were
Right.
there as public. It's like, bitch, I'm sorry. Girl, I wear panties just like you. I mean, mine
Right.
don't say public and yours say media. Stop it.
Exactly. That's what I said.
But then she thinks she's media until Law and Crime wants to cover that. And then all of a sudden, she ain't media no more. She is a nobody. She is just a mom with a YouTube channel that cares about the victims.
Can you believe that shit? Can you believe that? And I know this whole, and somehow Law and Crime, really? Are you kidding me? You caused a fucking scene at CrimeCon, and now you want to know why people are looking? Of course they are looking. You acted like an asshole.
Well, I've got a question. You might have already covered it, or you might not want to say, but since you were such a supporter of hers, as I was, I didn't watch every video of theirs, but, if it was something that interested me, I watched it, right? I didn't really follow Delphi too much. I just couldn't. Anyway, how did you, so how did you, when did the light bulb flick on for you? Was it during the 9-hour live? Was it later? Because everybody sees at their own pace, Do you?
No, I had a problem 5 minutes into the 9-hour live.
Really?
Yeah,
See,
in fact, everybody who was texting me was saying, what do you think? And I said, I don't like that she immediately, do you know what? I'm not kidding you, maybe 10 minutes before I heard about her live, I had just put a community post because we have a case here of these teenage kids that were shot and killed at on a camping trip. And it happened in May, and they just arrested the guy a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And he lives right in my town. But anyway, I kept trying to figure out what was going on with his hearings and stuff. And then I saw that he was filing for, everything to be sealed and no cameras, no photographer. And so I put a thing on my community post that said, gag order is actually not a thing, because this is something that, Hollywood pulled out of their ass because they had money to try to keep their shit, on the down low years ago. But public record is public record. That's just the way it is.
Right.
And I literally 10 minutes later, someone tells me that she's doing this live, and I go on there and she's bawling about Law and Crime. And I'm like, okay, I just said this. Why are you exempt from this? You go to that shit. You cover these things. You watch Law and Crime for this information. So who are you to?
You've been a guest on Law and Crime several times. It's okay. How I kind of did it was a little bit different. Now, I didn't meet her or, get like a weird vibe, so I just had just YouTube. That's it. Just what she put out. Didn't know anything about this TikTok. Knew absolutely nothing. Now, I had noticed in the past, 4 months or so, it was like trying to scratch for content. Kind of lost her edge a little bit, but I thought, well, a lot of things are wrapping up, whatever, but okay, I didn't really think too much about it. But so I was in a live when the creator, when Queen said, did everybody hear about, Lauren's got a stalker? And I was like, nuh-uh. And I immediately, that's where that parasocial thing comes in. I immediately was like, not Lauren, she doesn't do drama. So I went into it with like, how dare that person do that? You know what I mean? So I don't have 9 hours to watch a live. So I watched it at between 1.5 and 2 times speed, right?
Right.
And you miss a lot. So then I said, okay. And one of the mods for Lori Hollis came in Queen's chat, and so I had her channel. And I said, I'm going to, things, I had questions and I didn't listen to my gut right away. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even at 2 times speed, like, okay, so why did Dr. John, which I don't understand how you can give an expert um, declaration. I don't know how that doesn't, it's like a breach of interest. I don't understand how your expert can be your husband giving a statement. I don't understand that. But I really don't understand, and this is what really hit me, and I'm a nurse, and I guess that's why it did, is you're going to wake up next to your wife. She has her knees to her chest, rocking in the bed, having ideations that she's never had before, and you leave her with a 24-year-old going to a therapist on medication, emotionally unstable as there is. Like, she's the poster child for, it's either an act, which I think part of it is an act. I'm sorry, I just do. I don't like her either. I think like-minded people sit together and she co-signs this, and she might have even kind of unknown collared a little bit, in my opinion. But you leave her with her and you don't get her help. But
No, that's
well,
exactly what this is. First of all, that's a lot to lay on this kid. First of all,
yeah.
she
Well,
like
she's not
she
okay. All
appeared.
right. This is where we're going to disagree. I'm sorry. She's not a kid. She's a 24-year-old woman. This is not
Is
her
she?
first gig in social media. She is 24 years old. This is not her first gig on social media and being a producer to somebody.
Oh, really? See, I thought she was younger than that, actually.
No, she's 24. No, no, ma'am. And when Lauren said that Grayson was had to go start seeing a therapist and started on medication, no. There have been receipts that have been dropped over on Twitter that no, she was already under psychiatric and medication therapy prior to this.
Oh, I can kind
So
of see
that's
that,
why
though.
I
I
don't
can
give
kind
her
of see
any.
a little more.
I'm not giving Grayson one. I mean, I'm sorry if you're being manipulated, but I don't believe that she is, because she can lie. Just like the therapy thing. Christina didn't send you into therapy. You were already in therapy and on medication. At the bar at CrimeCon, when she says, I turned around and she was there and I was terrified, right? But then we find out from Joe Schmo on Queen's panel that they moved up 3 times, went up to Christina, then he took a picture, they set her up. So
Yeah,
when
I
you
heard
can
that.
do all that, when you can lie like that and try to get somebody arrested, when you can do that, my pity, I guess, for you goes out the window. It just does. She's not putting anything on this young 24-year-old. Don't get it twisted.
Well, I think that was all. What I guess really what I meant to say was on anybody. Really, I mean, why would he be calling? First, if you're a doctor and your wife is that unstable, this is when you want to hurt yourself. This is not about anybody else other than you. You got something wrong with you. You're either cooking up a bunch of bullshit, want to be drama, or you are really unstable. Because I mean, can anybody on the internet cause you to want to hurt yourself? I mean, you can be pissed off, irritated,
No, and we're
but
not responsible for anybody else's mental health either.
no,
So
no,
it goes both
absolutely not.
ways.
And I
you
don't think
know,
you should put it on any other employee, even like, watch her,
mm-mm,
watch. No,
right.
bullshit.
Hmm.
Am I a producer or this woman's
But,
viewer?
but okay, so in that 9 hour live, she mentions John going to the doctor for his blood pressure. She mentions Grayson going to a therapist and getting medication. But she never mentions that she herself got help. And I hope that she knows, if you put that out there in a court of law, you're going to have to prove it. That means medical records. There's a
Right.
lot of perjury on those pages of
I
all those
think they
court
right,
documents.
right. I think they made a big mistake coming out. They've said so much shit that it would I every time I've listened to parts of it, I've caught more because it was
Yep.
really hard to listen to that. I fell
Well, and
asleep.
they defamed, they actually did defamation in 9 hours over 400 times Christina was called a stalker. Am I a fan of Christina? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think they're all messy and sloppy. I just do. But when you try to take somebody's freedom, when you want them on an ankle monitor, when you want them to spend 30 days in jail, when
Right.
you want them to pay you $1,000 plus your attorney fees, plus your security fees. What are your security fees, ma'am? Because this was about CrimeCon. Would it be that you want to be paid back for what you paid Joe to take those pictures? Was Joe Schmo? Was he? You
Oh,
messed up doing this in the true crime community. She wanted this woman's freedom taken, and then she wanted money to do it. I've never seen an RO. Think about this, Jackie. Have you ever seen an RO where they demanded money?
no, right. No, are you really afraid or not? Because that's what that's about. That
Right,
means you are afraid of them. And you're not going and tracking them down
right.
if you're
If
afraid of
I
them.
if I was afraid, let's say that she's telling the truth, okay? Let's say that my child's losing weight, is worried about me, bags under his eyes. My husband's having blood pressure problems. I've got a producer that's like my right hand, my best friend, that is now in therapy, and my life is in that much turmoil, right? I would be the one calling law and crime and saying, please televise this, because this woman right here, this is what she's doing to me, and I want everybody to be warned. Instead of saying law and crime is going to televise it, and how dare they, when I can invade every part of every victim and their families' lives, when I can insert myself to that degree, you're going to cry. You knew you didn't have anything. That's it. She knew she did not have a thing. And she
No,
could not have that truth coming out, because see, that temporary restraint, that ex parte restraining order, that's just one side, right? The other side would get to put on their proof, and she does not want that proof out.
right. Right.
And
No,
if
that's
law and
exactly
crime, I truly believe, and this isn't damage control, this is pure on desperation.
well, because what they're trying to do now, my opinion is they're really trying to put like you heard him saying, you're taking these messages out of context. What that says is she said some really effed up shit
Mm-hmm.
and she doesn't want people to know about it. And now she's pretty sure they're going to know about it. So she
Oh,
wants
it's
to,
going to come out now.
right, it is going to
Yeah.
come out. And so now she wants it to be like, it was taken out of context. You heard her saying, I've said things about people I love dearly. And,
Yep.
when I changed my mind that same day or something, yeah, we've all said some fucked up shit, but you know what? You have to own up to it. You know what?
Right.
If you can't deal with what you fucking start, you need to shut your mouth if you don't know how to handle it.
I
You
mean,
can't go
everybody
around
talks
calling
shit.
police everywhere. Yeah,
Everybody talks
exactly
shit.
right. Well, of
Everybody
course
talks
they do.
shit. I'm sorry. If you say you don't, you're a liar. Everybody
Right.
talks shit. Now, to the extent, like, don't, but in that, okay, who you're talking shit about matters too, because it's like, if she's talking shit about me, I'm going to talk shit about her. You know what I mean? But don't tell me that you're staying for the victims while you talk shit on them in a quote, what John referred to last night as a roast chat. I can only imagine. And then
Right.
listen to what Precious said. And she didn't drop any receipts. It wasn't like that. It was more of, I, I saw something. I saw it. Um, and I think, because this is my interpretation, not hers, but I think because Lauren knew that she saw it, she didn't include Crescia. She's never been interviewed by Lauren. She's never, she was never really spoken to. She wasn't part of that tight fold. And then when Crescia tried to talk to her family members about it, it kind of tore the family apart too. So you have this family that she's lost three family members, right?
Right.
and they're vulnerable. And then you have Lauren that comes in, and I even feel like a fool because I thought she was that good friend. Do you remember the live that Lauren did? And I only remember it because it was my gut. It was my gut, and I didn't listen to it. And those are the moments you remember, like when you messed up on yourself, and that's on me. But she had gone, and Kay had done, made a big thing of jambalaya and potato salad. And Lauren was going on and on and on about Kay's potato salad. They all went, I don't know if they went to Kay's or somewhere, but anyway,
Yeah,
it was
they were in
during
an
the,
Airbnb in Boise.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
that, okay, so that one, Kresha references that one, that live. And when she talked about the potato salad, it was like, I, and, and I just had something in my gut. Something in my gut just didn't feel right. It almost made me sick. I kind of,
Oh my God, that's so weird because I totally do remember that.
yeah.
And I
And it
thought,
was very weird. It was very weird how Lauren was acting with the, it's like she was the, I mean, I know it's her show. I know she was videoing or living or whatever she was doing, streaming or whatever, but I get all that. But
it makes me
it was
so
very
sick though.
narcissistic.
Me and Queen, one of my mods on here, she lives near me. And like this sounds so weird. Once they finally got done with Brandon Boudreaux's, there were so many trials, and this family has just been through the mill with all this. It's just been
Hmm.
having to keep hearing and having to keep, that
Right.
stupid Lori, defending herself and making an ass, and it was so much. So me and Queen, we made a bunch of cards, handmade a bunch. Because I'm like, I just want to say, we've been praying for all of
Aw,
you guys all this time, and we just hope that you can find some
that's
kind of
sweet.
peace, you know. And I sent everybody one of these faith bracelets.
Aw,
So, and I'm telling you, I sent one to Lauren and John because I thought, they had really been good to Colby, and I just thought I really appreciated what, and now I'm sitting here going, shit. She might think I'm harassing her. I sent him a card.
I'm
I
so
mean,
glad I got your
I'm like,
notification. I'm so
shit.
glad I got your notification of your life. I'm so glad. Well,
Oh my
look,
God.
but you know what? You did the right thing. Another thing that killed me is when Christina put it out. No, Lauren put it out. She thought that's right. Lauren put it out during her 9 hour live, and I guess she thought it made her look good, or well, I guess she thought it made her look like a victim. But when Liz called and left her that sweet voicemail, she just sounded like an older lady that her feelings were hurt, that she had
Yeah.
seen what she said about her donuts, and this was a lady that took out of her pocketbook her time and her heart to give some donuts to somebody that she appreciated their work, and you call that a threat. Once, but I mean, she's not supposed to have any feelings. All she did was call you and leave you a voicemail of like, "What? You should know me." She sounded very hurt to me. That that's how. Okay, so I hear about it. I go listen to the 9 hour live. I'm like super fast, and I had these little pings in my stomach, and I'm like, let me go check out Lori Hollis. I didn't listen to anybody else. I wanted to make up my own mind. I went and listened to Lori Hollis, right? So I heard what she had to say. Then she brought up some things, and I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute. So then I went back to Lauren's, and I skipped through the brother stuff, skipped through some of the weirdo stuff. But other parts, I put it on normal speed and listened, and that's when I kind of like heard. And then I went to Trisha's and heard Grayson, and that's when I unsubbed. But I did my own, and then I went and listened to other people and everything. But
I
yeah, I
didn't
bet
watch
you are very disappointed.
I didn't watch Trisha's. I saw that it was on. I didn't watch it. And I saw Megan had a thing, and I just kept finding, at first I'm like, okay, I'm a little annoyed, but I'm just gonna let it go. And the more and more I thought about it, it just really upset me because I felt there was so much more here. And Love Louie, I have always really, really had a lot of respect for them. But sadly, and I hate to say this because it sounds really stupid, but even my husband and I talked about it, and he agreed. We both said, how is this any better than fucking bullhorn Betty outside someone's house with this stupid bullhorn acting like an asshole?
It's not.
It's really not. No, because you look much better. You don't look like a complete idiot out there like that, like Betty. But honest to God, to me, it's almost worse because, at least you can see exactly what Betty is. It's not hard.
Look, like Queen Bee, where she just, the lawsuit just ended after 2.5 years. That's a friend of mine. So, yeah, I could, I know all about Betty and other people. And other people on here. There's several, but the difference is she had a whole package. She had a husband that's a psychiatrist. They're not unattractive. They're not ugly people. They look like they bathe. I mean, you can tell she does self-care. My God, the brows alone are just wow. Anyway, but they had a different package to it. And they're college educated and they're well spoken. And just like in that 9 Hour Life, the buzzwords, I was threatened, I was stalked, I was scared, I was in fear. And then you've got Grayson over there saying the M word, this could lead to M, and are they going to physically attack me? And, but then what she doesn't show, but if you go onto the site and pull the records, what she didn't show in that 9 hours is when Grayson was at that restaurant having her little breakdown. The very end of it, she smiles almost like a giggle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But Lauren didn't show that during her. She dipped out that last second or two. A lot of manipulation, and those are the people that are the scariest. They're better manipulators.
No, that's exactly right. That's what I said. I said, you know what? Of course, it's very easy to tell, who Betty is. But this right here was worse to me because I do feel by their appearance, they were able to even get in more deep. Betty's not ever close to these family. That's just nonsense. But
I love Louie.
But I think these people got super close, Yeah. Hey, Beck. No,
love
I know.
Louie. I'm sorry. And that's what hurts is like the people, I was disappointed, then I was really disappointed in myself more. I mean, I truly was. I was like, how did I? But you did not see this part of them. You didn't see this desperation cleanup. I didn't see this part of them. Now, I did see somebody played a clip, and I didn't see it, but apparently they were reviewing the victim impact statements. And John was not very nice about what's her name? Olivia's. He was not very nice about Olivia's. And I thought, number one, how dare anybody judge a victim impact statement? Number one. I don't, now you can critique it and say, this part really touched me the most. And, you can give commentary on it, but to judge it as a psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever, I thought that was gross. And then after what he said, and I think they started getting pushback. The clip I saw didn't have the chat, but she tries to do a little bit of cleanup. And I saw that clip.
You mean Olivia Gonzalez?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, I thought she was a
Right.
Amazing. I
And
loved it.
she even used some of the questions that she asked him, she took directly from his questionnaire that he had put out. She was brilliant.
I thought it was, I
And
absolutely loved it.
but I don't care if a victim stood there and said, I hate you, and did nothing but cry for 10 more minutes. Who am I to judge that? You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not going to judge somebody that doesn't make an impact statement. You don't have to. I'm not going to judge them for not even speaking. You know, but I was like, why is he judging? I didn't know that they had even done that. And then when I heard what he did, and I mean, it's still up. Go find it. Go look. It's not. And then I wondered about myself. I'm like, if I would have watched this, would have picked up on it? Because I'm seeing it after the fact. It's kind of like
Right.
the veil, the curtain's already kind of pushed back, you know. But if the curtain was still closed, would I have seen that? I hope I would have, but I don't know.
No, I actually never
I
heard him
didn't hear
say.
anybody else calling it out. So I guess it was a, you know, that's that's the manipulation side.
Well,
It's
and
scary.
sometimes you can disagree. I mean, people don't agree on everything, and that's fine.
Right.
And so I never heard him say that. I mean, it does surprise me because I absolutely loved that um, victim impact statement. But that probably wouldn't have made me change my mind even about him.
Right.
I'm so
Right.
completely, yesterday really bothered me the way he, first of all, again, it was really long and hard to listen to, but he really was absolutely trying to say, that these people don't have a right to have their free speech. And that's bullshit. Just because you don't have to like what I'm saying. I'm allowed to say it. That's nonsense. And he really wanted to act like she had a right to this. He got a little ugly when he was saying um about oh my god, like the laws and stuff going
Yeah.
through,
Well, no,
trying to really be
he didn't
defiant.
really. He talked about UK laws, you know, but all those books that he pulled up,
Oh
every
my
one
god.
of those books, not one of them was a law book. They're all psychology books. Those are based on theory. He even says it.
Right, it's all about someone's feelings, which maybe you need to not worry about Brad Pitt for about 5 minutes and worry about your wife because she's really not okay. Son of a bitch. I
I
kept
don't
thinking,
think he's okay. I just don't. I
no,
think
I
I, I,
totally changed my mind.
I think he's just, I don't know.
No,
It's
I
just
like him less.
wild.
I kept thinking, I don't
And
know
look,
why
I
he's
was defending him when I couldn't stand her when I discovered all this because I'm like, he's not saying anything, yada, yada, yada. You know, maybe, you know, he didn't know all this. He's dealing with, you know, seriously. And then I
yep,
saw that clip and I was like, oh no, I'm good. And then last night, you're going to come. Everybody's been wanting to hear from you, right? Not your Patreon. You know, yeah,
right,
okay, but you come out on YouTube and address this as a couple together, right? And you come out and you try to tell us how we don't have any morals because we don't agree with you putting setting up a woman to and accuse her of crimes that she didn't do, but you're going to tell me about morals, right?
right.
Okay, sure,
No, he was acting like
I
he was
know,
scolding people for having
yeah,
a thought about this. No
yeah,
bullshit. Don't
yeah,
tell me I'm wrong in what I'm thinking because I'm actually not. And I didn't want to be ugly, but the more I thought about the crime, everything I kept seeing, and I'm like, no, this was fucked up, man. This was really
yeah.
messed up, and I'm so disappointed. And then no, and you know what? Did you notice last night he did? Oh, I could have these names wrong because I've never gone and watched that Christina. What I
Uh-huh.
did see, I didn't care for, but I don't really care. I really don't. But I don't know a lot of these people that they talked about, and I don't know her name. I might have it wrong, but Lori Hellis, is that her name? The
Yes, Lori Hillis she's an attorney. She's a retired attorney,
Okay,
and
so I
she,
did watch her one. I watched one of her shows, but did you hear him last night? Because remember how they said they quit having her on, And so when she was first talking about in the 9-hour live, I didn't know who this was. I knew nothing about it, but she was saying she had been a guest on the show regularly. And then, I don't know,
For
something
like
about
over a year.
timing. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, remember all that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she was saying how it had, there was nothing between them. I mean, she was saying all this stuff, like everything was really great. They actually still liked each other, blah, blah, blah. And then she threw in that little bit of attorney part there, which I was like, okay, that was weird because I don't have attorneys with shit with my friends, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But she acted like it was nothing. Last night, he was saying that he didn't like her, that she had cut him off.
See, I didn't catch that.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure because he didn't say the name, but it sounded like that same story. And he said, maybe this person cut me off. Maybe I didn't like, and he got real
yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
And I think that's what he was talking about. And to me, I was like, wow, see, you guys kind of both are showing different sides of yourself.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's good. I'm glad to see it because, I don't need to keep, thinking they're all great like I did.
Well, it's like, and that's where that whole parasocial. It's like I wouldn't care if she called Brian Hinton an asshole. I mean, who cares? But when it went to the victims, and she even said it during the bed scene of the 9-hour live. She says, and they even said that I was mean to, or I said something about Kay, but Kay, we had dinner last week in Las Vegas. Well, that doesn't mean that you didn't do it. That might mean that Kay forgave you with her own reasons. But I'm really interested to hear Crusher tomorrow night because
oh my God,
I don't think it's that way now. And then Aunt Gigi, did you read her statement on Instagram?
no, who?
Gigi's.
No, I don't know who that is.
Gigi is, I think it's Kay's sister. I think it's Crush's aunt. I'm almost positive, but Gigi was really, really, really involved. And she hasn't said anything. And on her Instagram, she put out a post where somebody went to her and said, "Please don't shun Lauren." And she said, "Shun Lauren." She said, "I've you can go and read it, but it's basically paraphrasing like crazy, but it's basically like, I saw all the text messages back in March. I've made my decision to stay away. This isn't anything new. Not wishing her any bad, but I'm focusing on, she's irrelevant, but how dare you say, please don't shun her? You really telling a victim's family, don't shun a creator because you like them on YouTube? Shut up."
Wow, I did not see that.
It was really good, but it's I forget what her Instagram is. I'll put it in chat when I hop down.
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot of these people that are involved.
See, I just knew from watching Lauren because
that's
Lauren
what I
pissed up to
know.
all of them. It's like, I followed the case. Like, I remember when the kids went missing. I remember watching it.
Oh, me too.
On TV. It was on the news. Everybody,
Oh, are you kidding? I live in Chandler, and I have for years said, you know what, Chandler fucked up. Those kids might be alive if Chandler had done their job and not let them get by with killing Charles like they did.
Yeah,
I know.
Let me tell. One thing Crush is going to talk about is she just barely mentioned it, but Donna Serafina. Oh my gosh! Apparently, she was driving them nuts. Donna that fake psychic lady, sweet whatever. She's this weird psychic lady that said that she knew where the kids were and she guessed at Chad's house and then she wanted the money. Oh, it's a whole big, huge mess. It was huge. Yeah, Donna Serafina. some weirdo fake psychic, was just driving her nuts.
Wow. Yeah, oh my God. No, you know what, Love Louie? I don't know. I don't know what the game is. Me personally, I think that she said some really ugly stuff that she's literally terrified to get out. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is going to come out. I don't know, Louie, if you heard that Krisha is going to have a live tomorrow where she talks all about what's,
She's getting her voice. It's her story. It's her story. How she felt.
yeah, there was
It's
a
not
lot
going to
of
be well, this is what she said about mom and hold up case. It's not going to be like that. She said that, she has stayed quiet and just stayed quiet and expressed some concerns to her family over the years. And she wasn't accepted by Lauren. It was like she was an afterthought, and this is Kay's daughter.
right.
This is Tylee and JJ's aunt. This is, you know, Charles' niece.
Right. It's not what one thing I did notice, and I've said this a little bit, and a lot of it's only kind of in retrospect I'm thinking about it. But it did seem to me, because I thought, Nate and Lauren, they've all been at all of these, right? They've done this all these years, right? And like Nate was so super nice. Like he's just really exactly like, seriously, my husband was like, is he exactly what I think he is? And I'm like, he really was, super, super nice. I walked up to him the first time and introduced myself, and he was like super nice. And I even just told him, I was like, I just have a little tiny channel, but I'm very passionate about this case for sure. And, I watch my grandson though, blah, blah, blah. And he was so nice. He was like, have you met Dustin Lum? And he introduced me to him. I went in the elevator with them, chatted. Super nice.
He does seem like a nice man.
He doesn't even. And even the next like a month later, I went to another hearing, and he literally came up and was like, oh, how's your grandson? I was like, oh my God, you remembered, But I noticed they weren't talking to Lauren.
Well,
but I didn't know why.
I don't know about now, but like Cresha says, and I don't know when it started. I don't know when Cresha started her channel. I think I've been subbed up probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. But she doesn't just talk about her family, right? So right. It's a lot of things, and some of those things, depending on people's religious beliefs, they might not appreciate that. So I think there might be some feelings between Nate and Cresha just because, and she alluded to that today. She talked about it, that she wasn't included by Nate because she calls out the LDS church and he's LDS. And he doesn't, they don't have to like each other. It's not like that. But,
exactly.
Just from being a victim's family member, it's like sometimes you have to say, okay, well, you don't have to believe what I believe, but, I don't know. It was just a lot.
Well, like I said, everybody can have their own opinions about stuff. And I definitely, I kind of watch a lot of, I mean, I watched, I watched Annie for a while. Good God. For about 5 minutes. And then.
Yeah, I know where Annie came from. I just don't do that.
I'm not.
I know how Annie blew up, so I'm not too impressed. I know what case blew her up, and she was not good in it.
When she started,
but she got a PR firm. She hired an agency, and there you go. And it took off. I don't watch Annie. She's just not my cup of tea. And hey, look, no shade to anybody that likes her. It's like, right. It's like not if everybody liked everybody that liked everybody, it would be such a boring world. It would be so boring.
That's exactly right. And that's, what, a lot of this stuff I'm saying, like, I never even said whenever it happened. I told Queen some of it. But to me, it was really nothing to talk about. And then now I'm just like, oh my God, I kind of see some of the weird stuff that, I mean, it looks weirder to me now, but I honestly, I'm not going to lie. I felt like that Grayson lived with them or something. And I thought, I think that they are like together 24/7 or something. It seems a little bit weird. And they did act a little bit weird here. Even what I noticed was, because Lauren was telling me a lot of stuff that I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. But especially we were pretty much out in the street, and Grayson was trying to get her to leave. She kept saying, come on, come on. She was like, our Uber's here, we got to go. And so she's like, I got to go, run. And then I was waiting because all the traffic, my husband just dropped me off and then came and got me. And so I'm just out there. And next thing you know, here they were just come walking by again. And they were like, oh my God, we just got in a car. It wasn't our Uber. And I was like, wow. Like, I don't know. It was odd, right? Like, she was telling me that people are saying that she's a bad mom, that she leaves her son all the time.
She told you all that? You just met her and she told you all that?
We're on the street. I swear to God.
I know, but it's okay. So this is okay. And no shade against you, but if I just met you, right, and I got all this going on, people, the whisper campaign or whatever she wanted to call it, I wouldn't tell somebody that I just met every bad thing that people are telling me. But I don't think she knows boundaries. I don't think she knows boundaries. Like, she met Grayson, right? She met Grayson waiting in line. Grayson takes notes. She, hires Grayson. And boom, you're having Grayson come stay in your Airbnb. That's your employee. It's like she doesn't know boundaries. It's like, but I mean, seriously, like let's say it came out that all these people on YouTube were just talking mad crap about you, right? And there was some shit in there that you just didn't want anybody to see. And I came up to you and I said, hey, Jackie, I know you don't know me. I sit in the bushes. I catch you on replay. I really like your channel, da-da-da-da-da. Would you then proceed to tell me, no matter if it's an hour later or 6 hours later, about all these text messages on YouTube that you're scared that are going to get out? It's weird to me. It's like there's no boundaries. There's none.
That's why I didn't think that much of it. Honestly, I didn't. I thought, because I just, at first I was like, oh, that's too bad. And then I was like, she kind of kept on. And so I was like, well, I don't know. And she's like, and then what I'm wearing. And I was like, I kind of felt weird. Like, I didn't know what to say. And I just go, I don't know. Maybe people are jealous. I don't know. Like, I mean, I didn't know what I was supposed to say. Yeah. And I didn't think it was a big deal like this. That's why I said to Queen, I go, I didn't think it was a big deal because I still don't.
You just caught a vibe,
Yeah.
You got the vibe.
It seemed odd. And I was just like, okay. I never even talked about it other than Queen, just for a minute. Like, and then when I was out, I was like, I was actually hearing some of this. I was honestly, I was there the day she got sick. I remember that. I remember after lunch, I looked and I was like, oh, she didn't come back. I remember in her live, she said she
had all the shit was going down. Yep. And it was all going down.
And then I did recognize that girl that I saw that she had taped. Remember, she went up taping her saying, I'm worried for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah, her name starts with a J. Yeah, Jack. It's not Jackie. I forget what it is. Who it is. Yeah, it starts with a J. She's one of Christina's friends, and but if you look at that video real fast, it looks a certain way. But if you just watch it at normal speed, Lauren was behind her, and then Lauren shuts the door on her, and the girl wasn't even threatening her. She was just like, we need to talk. I mean, there was no threat. I mean, And think about this. You tell me this isn't a setup. Now, Lauren's own words, she said she's on the phone with her husband, and all of a sudden she had this fear when she saw this girl, and she didn't know what she would do. And so she hung up from her husband and started recording. Okay. If you were truly in fear, I would want to keep my husband on the phone with me, right?
Yeah.
And number two, why are you going to gripe about somebody recording you when you're recording them?
And why were you afraid? I'm telling you,
I don't know why she was afraid.
right where she took that video, I can tell you right now, she was not even 5 feet from like 4 police officers. I know that courthouse. I know exactly where they were at. And I kind of even think that I was right there because I walked in with Lauren that day.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the hell how I missed that part. But then again, she would
Well, she
go
said
back.
she was running late. She said she was running late.
Yep, she was. And that I was lost. I couldn't because at that I thought everybody was waiting in line outside that day. And I got there at like 5 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't find anybody. Lauren was the one that told me, no, they're waiting in line upstairs. And I was like, oh shit, you know? So I
Wow.
actually walked in right with her. I don't know how anything threatening happened. I'm so blown away. And then she said she talked to the bailiff. I'm like, see, again, that is some to me. I have a very high bar for when I'm going to call the police or act like this shit. You know?
I know. I know.
So blows my mind.
She'd
I've
never
never called.
make it. She'd never make it where I grew up, where I lived until 3 years ago. She'd never make it.
I'm
Oh
like,
my God, she'd lose her
like,
mind.
these are the kind of people that I worry about because what the hell you called the police? Nothing happened. And she said
Well,
she went.
that's that entitlement oozing out, you know. And look, okay, she calls the okay. So, all right, so so the restaurant. So when they're confronted at the restaurant, right, and they call, she said they called 911 is what they did to get a ride. She says it in her thing. She slips up. It was 911. You call 911 emergency services for a ride to your car, right? And then you make this report. Well, and I've never, tell me you're not entitled by either the color of your skin, how you're dressed, who you're married to, you have a YouTube channel, whatever it is, the whole combination. I've never called law enforcement and told them I thought I was being extorted and them do as much detective work as they did for her in a matter of hours. Like calling the first two girls, and that girl gave the police officer Christina's number. Then he talks to Christina. I've never in my life. It's like you take a report and it is what it is. You know, when your
Right.
number
Like
comes up, we'll look into it. But you
half
know,
the time I feel like they wouldn't even show up for something
right,
actually dangerous
right,
going on. And
right.
here we're going to go ahead. No, I did see a lot of that. I felt like I didn't think that was cool. And maybe in Boise, like Boise's really little and stuff. So I don't know. I did find that I was like, well, they're really taking it very seriously. Whenever I would think they would be like, okay, well, if something really happens, go ahead and call us.
And look, and we don't know what kind of scene, you know, there was. You got Grayson over there wigging out like she's gonna, you know, somebody's gonna shank her, you know, like she's on the worst streets in Philly or something, you know, during the day. I mean, good Lord, I can only imagine the scene.
No, that's
But
100%.
I just
Yeah.
thought that was so weird. I thought, man, I've never had a cop do that much for me, you know? Like,
No, you
wow.
don't. I normally I didn't think about it at the time so much, but I
That's
actually
that
do.
entitlement oozing out.
That's
Yeah.
that's what I saw was 100% entitlement,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I didn't like it at all, and I was disappointed, and that's why everybody who asked me, people kept texting me and saying, "What do you think?" And I was like, "You probably don't want to hear what I think because I think this is bullshit."
Well, I'm glad
Um,
you saw so quickly. I didn't. It took me a little bit. It did. But I had to watch everybody. I had to watch Lauren, and then Lori Hollis, and then back to Lauren, and then Web Sleuth, and then that was it. And then I was done. And I saw what I needed to see. And then I started going around to channels that were covering her. So, yep. But
yeah, people were letting me know because I just don't. It's a lot of stuff. For some reason, stuff doesn't come up for me. I don't try to. Like it's even when people talk about me, you know how many my sister would get so pissed off that people are talking shit about me. She's sending me
yeah,
you should send me
clips.
links and I
Yeah,
just ignore it. And so like one day I happened to catch a short on myself and I was like, oh my God, that is dumb actually. And so I sent it to my sister and she's like, I sent you that like a month ago. I go, I
yeah,
don't open it because I really don't care. I mean, I am
right.
who I am. I'm not going to change. So what the fuck, whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. And
Yeah,
even Queen Bee, you know what? She called me Snot Rocket, and I was like, I ended up making a whole bunch of shit with Snot Rocket on it. I was like,
there
okay,
you go.
but
There you
because
go.
she thought I was there with Bullhorn Betty, and I was not.
Uh,
Um,
what's so
I
funny
was
about
there,
Betty? What's
but
so
I
funny?
was not with Betty.
Yeah, talking about embracing things. Betty, Bullhorn Betty, called Jay for justice. She kept talking about her cooter. Okay, that's what she says, cooter, cooter, cooter. So Jay, she's made it like a whole community now. And she's like, that she drives a cooter DeVille. They're called the cooters over there. And it's like, it's like, you're a joke, ma'am. You're sitting in your bed dirty with
Right.
pee pads on it, raging out about something, trying to sue people and going after families. You know.
I know. No, I don't.
Oh,
I
did you know
never
that
liked
Betty's
her.
gonna? Do you know that Betty's gonna sue? Betty is suing TikTok and YouTube. Just to let you know, she's
For
going to
what?
sue. Um, well, she's being. It's rumored that she's being shadow banned right now because of her content. And she said it's because she spoke on Charlie Kirk, and they're shadow banning her, and TikTok has already struck her. I don't know how many times, so she's gonna sue them.
That might, is she going to represent herself? Because that's probably
Oh,
not
I
a
hope.
good idea.
Oh, of course. But Betty's still. I mean, she's still in. They did the Rico injunction on Barbecue Lady, a creator from TikTok, and Granny's Watching, a creator from YouTube, over the Sebastian Rogers case, and 9 people came together, and they lost, and they took it to appeal, and then yeah, so we're waiting on it to go back, and then yeah, and then they can all open up their wallets.
And she's all
So
done. She's all done with Queen Bee now? I what? Because I hadn't
yes,
heard.
yes, yep, all that is over.
I
Betty
used to listen to
reached out to the
Toasty.
attorney and said that she wanted. Oh, honey, look, Toasty has been having some excellent lives on Lauren. Yeah, you need to come over, Queen
Yeah, I
Bee.
did watch. I did listen to one the other day. That's what happened. That's what happened is I was listening, and then I heard Toasty saying something to say addressing Krisha in the chat, and I
Uh
was like,
huh.
oh my god.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
someone sent me a text. Look at my little birdie. Oh my god.
Creature was funny. She was in chat. She doesn't know me from Adam. Like most of hers, I catch on replay or whatever. And so she was in chat, and I'm one of Toasty's mods, and so she was in there, and I knew who she was, and she was saying some things in chat and everything, and she said, "Well, I'm going to address this on Sunday." She said, "I just don't know what to call her. What should I call her, chat?" And it wasn't all. I had just changed my name as a joke last week, and it's a long story, but I was Octocock. I
What
was
was it?
Minch. I was Minch Fluff and Octocock.
Oh,
It's a long story. It's a whole other side of their story. It was hilarious. So I told her, I said, "Well, I know you don't know me, but I was Octocock last year. You can always use that." And then I told Burnt Toast, I told her, I said, "You might want to take my wrench." I said, "I'm not a good mod. I'm a bad influence." I say
Oh my
horrible things.
That is so funny because I text Jerry and I go, "Hey, I just heard Burnt Toast talking to Krisha is in
Mm-hmm.
chat."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Yeah,
She's
I
been in
know."
nonsenses a lot too. She's been in nonsenses a lot too. Yeah.
See, it's so funny because I said to Jerry, I go, "I never watch chat. I just listen on my earbuds. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really watch the chat." And she's like, "Well, you miss some good gems sometimes, Jackie. You need to start
Yes.
paying attention." But I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I do it while I'm cooking dinner and mopping the
I know.
floor.
I do too. I do too.
So
But
I
thank you
just,
for letting me up and let me pick your brain a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh, this is way too much to type, and then you had to read, So I was like, oh, and texting, I never get my point across, and I misspell half the things because I just text too fast. But
no, I
thank you for letting me up.
appreciate you
Yeah,
coming up.
and
I do.
I'll see you over there tomorrow night. Yep.
Oh, I'm
I
all
won't be.
there.
I won't be. So if you see the word octocock in there, just know that it's a whole thing.
I love it. I love it.
All right.
I
Well,
love
everybody have a good, and everybody, and I'm sorry, Jackie, to meet her and, make gifts and, all those things. I am sorry that I know it's a disappointment. I know it is. And, and I know that, Love Louie seems pretty tore up about
Oh,
it too.
she
So,
really
yeah.
loved. Yeah, yeah, very much.
And, she said, I'm embarrassed for him. And I'm not embarrassed for him because it's sometimes I'm not going to be embarrassed when somebody has worn a mask and it falls off.
That's true.
You were still that person. You just wore a mask, and I'm not going to be embarrassed for you. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I do want her and John both to be sued, 1,000,000%. Oh yes, 1,000,000. You cannot do that. And her entitlement, she will do this again. And she's already said that she's thinking about taking this federal or to another state. Ma'am, what state? What state are you planning on taking this to?
Well,
So,
and look at how many. I don't know. I don't have to send cease and desist to people all the time. Like there's been a lot of that, and you're just like, you know what? Just freaking ignore shit. If you don't want to hear it, don't listen to it.
what
I
cease to desist is
not worth shit.
nothing more than a warning that if you do not specifically stop these actions that I've listened to or take down these URLs or whatever, if you don't do that, then I'm going to sue you. So don't send a C&D until you're prepared to sue somebody because that's all it is. It's a piece of paper that says, hey, if you don't shut up, I'm going to sue you. And you
Right.
don't have to shut up, but you might get a lawsuit depending on the person.
Well, that's just exactly right. That's exactly right.
And the ones that send the C&Ds don't have a pot to piss in, and it's like stop it. I'm just frame them. We've got a
Right,
crowd over
right.
there. She's starting to frame them. She got her second one. She's framing it.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, and yeah, I'm glad I caught you live. Usually I catch you on replay, and thank you for letting me up. I
Oh,
appreciate it. All
well,
right,
thank you so
see
much.
y'all over there tomorrow night. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Well, that was awesome. I learned a lot there. That was so nice. They're laughing all the way to the bank at short term, I think. Yeah. Oh, you think so? I don't think they're doing themselves any favors. I don't. I think that every time they open their mouth, I think they're making it worse. I really do. I think I'm super excited that we have gotten a few visits, right, from this beautiful hummingbird. I'm glad I thought about it all of a sudden to pop that back up on. You know, absolutely. Thank you, Rowena. Thank you so much for coming up. I really enjoyed that, and I appreciate it. And So yeah, to me, that that's a really big insult. But honestly, I feel like the way that she's behaved is actually worse than Betty. I do believe that, and that's pretty bad. I mean, just because you know how to wear a bra and you know, right, right, Tony, yeah, they are. They're. It's shameful. That's the way I see it. I think their behavior has been shameful, and yeah, like she said, the mask is off because there was clearly a mask on. Absolutely. Yeah, right, Frazzled. Me too. Me too. And I'm super glad that. Have you guys caught any of the little visits from the baby? I just love it so much. Right now is the time they're really trying to get as much in before bedtime. The little hummers. I get so excited over little stuff, over my little hummingbirds. But yeah, that was pretty insightful. And now there's so much more for me to look at because I didn't know about a lot of this stuff. Oh my God, right, Tony? I played a little bit of it. That was really hard to listen to. All that Brad Pitt shit. What the hell? No, again, sometimes you just wonder if there's anybody in someone's life that has a voice of reason to say, hey, you know what? You need to settle down because it's not a good look. And what you're doing is not really okay. And, you hear from John, you hear from Grayson. I don't know where the voice of reason is. She has 4 attorneys. And not one of them said, listen, people are allowed to hurt your feelings. I know. I could not with that shit. I was like, surely to God, this is going somewhere, but it's taking way too long. And again, I think that Lauren was as irritated as everybody else was with that. I don't think that she really cares about all that. I think that she likes to go to trials and get all horned in with these people, go to dinner with them, whatever all happens, get in really close with these families and make these friends apparently, and obviously talk some shit. But a lot of relationships seem to not, they don't have longevity with her, it doesn't seem like. And that kind of tells you something, It does me. I don't know. I mean, I have friendships from 40 plus years. And I don't know that she has like longevity in that kind of stuff. That's a telling thing for me. However many people she's met online and met at trials, she's had to send some kind of shit from an attorney. Yes, always be careful. Who is it? Somebody says, put your helmet on. I'm not sure who it is that says that. Yeah, I will definitely be there tomorrow for sure. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Well, you know what, Tony? If her kid is saying that, that's messed up. Come on. Don't say that. Don't be telling your kid that kind of crap. You know what? Frazzled, I want to say 8. Oh, look. Okay, Kiwi. Tony just said 8. Yeah, that's what I thought. Why are you talking about stuff like that in front of him? You know, I've never been, I don't like things like that. That's not cool. Yes, that's what I told you. She told me that people were putting her down for the not being a good mom because she was leaving her child all the time. Well, and I don't know if it's a CPS thing or not. I don't know, but I do know that it's wrong. You know, we all know those people that tell their kids all their problems, right? Whether it's about when people are getting divorced and they want to go and talk to the kid about everything when they're little kids, getting them in the middle of it. How many times I've heard people carry on to their kids about their money problems and this and that. That shit irritates me. That's not stuff kids need to worry about. They got their own stuff. So I don't know what your child has overheard. Why? And again, he's a doctor. Why are you talking about that shit to upset your child? I think that's crazy. But then again, you know what, Tony? She's the one that calls the cops. I don't like people calling. I think it's ridiculous when people call CPS and people call cops and shit for no reason. As a citizen, I don't appreciate the misuse of that, of the resources. I don't appreciate it at all. But she's the caller. Right. So whether it's true or not, if it's true that her child is that upset, that's really fucked up that she's done that to the child. That child should know nothing about somebody making TikToks about her. Because it's not against the law. It's not anything. Even if it was real serious and they actually had threatened you with physical harm, which I have not heard any proof of that at all. You know, something I was wondering if anybody else thought this. Has anybody noticed whenever she says, I'm worried about my safety, she just seems to have a weird voice when she says that. Does anybody notice that? It's this acting voice, like she's all, I don't know. I think it's gross. Yep. I think so too. Frazzle, yes. How disappointing, right? All of this, listening to his take on it, everything they've done has made it worse, in my opinion. Everything. Yep, that's kind of the way I see it. Well, come on. If you're afraid of somebody, stay the hell away from them. She has intentionally gone where these people are just so she can have them thrown out, call the police. It's the way it looks to me. Is he really? I thought he was some kind of expert. I don't know. Shit. I don't know. Wow, that's fun. She said her mom's in hospice right now. Right now. See, YouTube would be the last thing I'd be worrying about if my mom is in hospice right now. I'm just saying. YouTube or people that don't like me. Come on. And her parents are divorced. Have you guys watched that Mormon Stories when she was on? She was on there. I actually watched it a while back. It's really long. There's like 2 of them, several hours. No, yeah, I know. I put it the speed up. I still couldn't really handle much of it. No, she does. She tells her life story on that channel. Yeah, the Brad Pitt thing was too weird for me. I can't. I thought I was taking crazy pills last night when I was listening to that shit. Thought, what the hell is going on here? Yeah, it is. It's too bad. But I'm glad actually now. I'm kind of glad to see this side of John for sure because, again, I had a lot of respect for them. Oh, you did, huh? I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Wow. So this is going to be very interesting. I am super, I'm very excited. I want to see the Creeshas from last night. Did you watch it, Tony? Creesha, I guess, talked about it last night. You guys, he actually also said that he was the one that woman, the lawyer would remember the whole kerfuffle about the lawyer who had been on the panel or something for a while. He said last night that it was him that got pissed off at her. She acted like nothing really happened, yet she had her lawyer involved in it. That's just weird. I don't have lawyers involved in every damn thing or anything I do, quite honestly. I don't know. I think she was just as bored with all that shit as he was, or as we were. No, I mean Creesha. Not hidden true crime. Hey, okay, I made myself laugh. You know, I do that a lot. Yeah, we're not going to get any more. It's getting dark, so we won't get any more from the babies. Not from John and Lauren, from Krisha. Apparently, she talked last night about some shit, and she's going to again tomorrow. Yeah. 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 And I really respected him. I didn't always agree with him, but whatever, you know, I'm no doctor, right? What the hell do I know? He just said a whole bunch of shit last night, trying to completely justify her behavior and to act like it really was a crime. And it's not. It's just not. Yeah, I know. I didn't watch it either, Tony. I didn't, but I'm going to. I'm going to put the link in again. Apparently, so Krisha is Kay's daughter, Kay Woodcock's daughter. Her channel is Difficult Research. I'm going to get the link again. Apparently, she talked about it last night, and she's going to again tomorrow. Because there's been a lot of goings-ons, right? No. It's just coming to a head for Lauren. Oh, real? I've never heard him talk about T-Rev. Wow. That weirdo guy that drives around now doing DoorDash or some shit? The one with the fake call or something? Is that who you mean? I never heard Lauren and John talked about him. I liked him a lot. Not gonna lie, I did. So let me get the channel. This is the channel I'm talking about. So I'm not sure if you're smelling what I'm cooking here. And then last night, apparently, my understanding is this is the one you need to watch first before tomorrow. Yeah, me too. Me too. Apparently, there's some good stuff in there, Tony. But yeah, you're right. I haven't watched a lot of the stuff. You guys have all heard the court audio, though, right? Has everybody heard it? I have it. Shut up. Are you kidding, Tony? I never saw that. I never saw that. Wow. Okay, well that would I would have thought something about that. I would have. That would have made me think something, but I didn't. I never saw that. Yeah, because Lauren's attorney, some of the shit they said in court, I don't even know how. I guess you can get people to say anything. But I'm really glad that Rowena came up and told us some stuff. That was good. And now I'm super excited to hear what Prisha has to say. And I guess like I'm really anxious to see what happens, when this shit actually comes out, how Lauren's going to handle that. Oh, shut up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. I thought it was somebody from the Soto case that called. Oh my god. That's so funny. Yeah, if they valued his opinion, then that's weird for sure. Hey, Jonathan. Good to see you. You did? Oh my god, that's so funny. Wow. If anybody missed it, we did have the hummingbirds up for just a little bit, but we got a few little visits, and I love that. You never did Happy? Huh? Yes, happy Halloween. Happy fall. I love this time of year. It's awesome. It's very nice here right now. A little bit warm still, but it's okay. It's not hot like it was. So I love that a lot. And I'm going to do, there's some new stuff on the Gilbert Goons I'm going to need to go over very soon. Very upsetting shit, but I need to look into all of it. But one of the kids in the Preston Lord case, a lot of those kids are out on bond right now waiting for their trial, which is in March. They're still getting in trouble. They haven't stopped misbehaving at all. It's really upsetting. So, oh, you got the same shirt on, babe.
Yes, I.
That's awesome. Did you? We're twinsies. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and end this now. And I assume everybody, you're gonna go and watch Krisha's video from last night, and everybody's gonna be there tomorrow and watch. I think it's gonna be really good stuff. I'm anxious to see it. I hope to see you all there. And I hope everybody has a great night. Oh no, I'm sorry, Jonathan. Yes, thank you for being here. frazzled. Thank you very much. Thank all of you for being here. I appreciate it. And I hope everybody has a great night. And I love you. Thank you so much for everything. And I will see you very soon. Bye.